So how did skate fishing start for me? Well, it was about 25 years ago. I'd obviously seen monster skate getting caught around about Scotland, and I had joined a sea angling club at the time called the Inverclyde Sea Angling Club. And one of my first trips just happened to be with this guy, Ronnie Campbell. And got talking to him on the boat, and he was telling me about all the skate he was catching, and obviously I'd seen his articles in the Sea Angler. And I just thought, it's an ideal opportunity, I'm going to book a trip with this guy. And the first trip I went on, I was lucky enough to catch 2 skate. And from that day on, I was hooked massively on the size of these fish and just the power of them. And I just wanted to go fishing for them all the time. And it became a total obsession for about 5 years. And I had lots of real great opportunities where, you know, Ronnie would invite me along as an individual. He would get me to help with crewing. And even in the early days when he was doing filming with the likes of John Wilson, which was a fantastic experience, totally mind-blowing for me to even have that opportunity. And from there it did really like overtake my life, and sometimes I was fishing 2 and 3 times a week for skate. And I have caught a lot of skate over the years. And back in the early days, you were lucky if you had, you know, a handful of skate on the boat. That was typically a good day back then. But over the years, with various different bands coming in with the commercial fishing within the Sound of Linney, we've seen the skate like numbers grow and grow over the years. And again, I've been fortunate enough to be involved with a lot of the skate tagging programs over the years, and been out with the scientists while they've been taking DNA samples or even scanning them to see if they've got any young inside them, and even down to even checking the DNA of the food that they're eating. So it's been a very interesting journey. But as I say, I was obsessive for the first 5 years until I really started getting into competition fishing, and that then became my obsession. But the thrill to go and catch common skate never ever left me. I always have this passion where I want to go back in the winter months when it's quiet. So for me, that's my escape. In the winter months, I still enjoy catching these big fish. Even just using my match fishing experiences to try and optimise on my bait presentation, my rig layout, you know, the type of weights that I'm using. It becomes part of your just general fishing makeup, where you're always trying to be better and catch more fish and bigger fish all the time. And I've not had a lot of fish over 200 pound, but my biggest fish is 213 pound. And I mean, there's a lot bigger fish out there to be caught, but I've had a lot of fish in the 190s, 180s. Yeah, within a few years I had well over 300 fish, and I kind of stopped counting after that. But it's 25 years I've been fishing for them now, and especially with the numbers of skate that's out there just now. You know, some days, the best day I had was 12 skate individually, but that was a day where we had 35 skate on the boat. You know, these numbers of fish were never ever seen in the past. So certainly with the ban on the trawling and the Sound of Linney, it's definitely had a positive impact on the skate numbers within the Oban area. So, I mean, what's desirable about catching common skate, what appeals to me, it's every fight is different. And you know, sometimes people think, oh, it's just a heavy weight getting dragged in, but you know, some fish will run off, some fish will just lie on the bait and take it. You know, some, like male fish in particular, they're a lot more active, so you could have them halfway up through the water and the next minute they decide they're going to the seabed again, and you've got no chance of stopping them. And you know, for me, that's the thrill. The fight is different just about every time, and I think that's what keeps me coming back. And when you know that there's potentially fish, you know, up to like 250 pound in these waters round about Oban, and there's always that hope that you're going to hook into an absolute monster. They're just like big stealth bombers. They're huge flatfish. If you know what a ray looks like, it's just a ray on steroids. They're sometimes 8 foot long, be over 6 foot wide, and some of the pregnant females can be like, you know, up to a foot in depth. And they're huge fish. The mouth on them, you know, can be like maybe 18 inches across on some of the bigger fish, so you can imagine the size of baits that they can take inside their mouth. So, looking at locations where we fish for common skate in Scotland, Oban's always been the mecca. There obviously is a lot more places starting to, you know, see a lot of big numbers, like down the Sound of Jura, especially up round about Shetland, etc. There's tons of common skate all over Scotland now. But some of the challenges, certainly fishing around about the Oban area, is the depths of water and the strengths of tides. So I mean, sometimes I've been fishing up to 600 foot deep, like off the entrance to Loch Spelv, where typically that's where you get the really big females hanging about. But most of the time you're sort of 450 to 500 foot. And the big challenge is obviously getting your bait to stay on the bottom. And we've developed rigs over the years where you can fish a short snood length but still have a big running line for a rubbing line on through the boom. It was a guy who first came on the boat many years ago, a guy called Greg, and who's one of Ronnie's pals, and he first appeared with the conjugate tube boom. You're talking over 20 years ago that was first used, and now everybody's using it because it's so effective. You know, you need that long rubbing line, and you know, so you can have the short snood, because dropping down in those depths of water, there's always a chance that the bait is going to spiral up in your line, and if that happens, then you're not fishing. So it's making sure everything is set up to give you the best chance to catch fish. And because of my match background, I've always got rigs ready to go, and that's why I come up with the way I'm using the baiting needle for presenting large baits, and being able to easily just have those baits ready to go. So when you come in and you've got a fish on, get it landed, switch over your bait, get the fish measured, etc., get it back again, and then you're fishing very quickly. So you're maximising the time on a seabed and minimising the time at the water. So you're always going to increase your catch if you're fishing that way. So will I ever stop fishing for skate? Only when my health stops me. I'll keep coming back every winter. You know, we even have like just small competitions, just fun competitions that it's just good to meet up with old friends. You know, it's more than just the skate fishing. It's the crew, it's the guys you go fishing with. Because I've fished with so many different people, I get the opportunity just to meet so many different people in these environments, and be able to even share knowledge on how to catch skate. And there's always opportunities for learning when you're skate fishing. No one day is the same as the next. Whether it's how the fish are, you know, behaving with the tidal patterns, how they're feeding. It's plus the scenery at Oban. It's a gorgeous place, and I just love keep coming back to Oban.